Right then, Stephen Howson, Stretford, Paddock. We are here at Camp Toccoa, Georgia, the home of the legendary Easy Company, the 506th Infantry Regiment for the 101st Airborne, made famous by Stephen A. Ambrose's book and by the TV series Band of Brothers. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here today and how excited I am that we're going running this today in what is about 100 degrees. This is going to be a sweaty one, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm already hot standing here talking wibble about transfers. So what's it going to be like by the time we've run up the mountain that we have to run up? Honestly. Who cares? Because we're doing it to honour the fallen, and we're doing it because, well, it's cool to do, innit? And what do you reckon? What was a better backdrop? Ghostbusters? All that. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's start with Benjamin Sesko. What's going on with Benjamin Sesko, Steve? Well, a lot, actually. It kind of went from, he's signing for Arsenal, he's signing for Newcastle, Manchester United actually think that we've got a chance to sign him in Benjamin Sesko. Why? Well, Chris Vivel, who's like United's head of recruitment now, obviously got a prior existing relationship with him, obviously has done some absolute gold standard pillow talk because he's got him to even think that Manchester United is a good option for him rather than going playing Champions League football. And maybe they're right. Maybe it is. And maybe he would be a good fit for us. The figures being talked about, for me, 75 million plus a load of add-ons is a little bit wild. I'm going to be honest with you. I know we've gone with Premier League proven in a couple of instances with Cunha and Mbuemo. I think he's an absolute levelling up on Hojlund. And do you know what? It genuinely feels now like we could get a here we go on this before the next transfer review next week, which we're back at Old Trafford. Unless I can blag going somewhere else cool. I mean, let us know in the comments. Anywhere, like, should we do Jodrell Bank? Something like that? I don't know. But by the time we hit this next week, I think we might have already had a here we go on it. Things could move fast. And I know we said this on Watkins last week, or something along those lines on Watkins last week. But I think there's a real chance that we get an here we go on Benjamin Sesko. If not to United, to Newcastle. Because I think, even though I do believe United's interest in him is real, I also think Newcastle's interest in him is genuinely real as well. And I think it'd be hilarious if he rejected Newcastle to come to United. But I think there's a possibility that he does end up at Newcastle still. So right now, Sesko to United, I'm saying 5 out of 10. Next up, Nick Woltemade, and you guys have been hammering me for doing a scout report on this guy. I haven't done one just yet, but if this progresses, I will do one. Right now, I think it's a waste of time. It's a Stuttgart striker, in case you're going, who? Stuttgart striker, he's been linked with Manchester United. I'm pretty sure this is just in the case of, like, someone's flung it out there and gone, United are linked with a striker, United want a striker, let's link him with this striker. He's done well in the age group internationals. And would he be better than Hojlund? I think he probably would be better than Hojlund, to be honest with you. I don't think there's any interest in it, though, whatsoever. I'm going to say it's an absolute 0 out of 10. Right, Douglas Luiz. I'm pretty sure we covered Douglas Luiz a couple of weeks ago. This has come out in the MEN on Friday, that Douglas Luiz is a realistic target for Manchester United. I personally don't think he is, even though I think he's a good player, and I could see him fit in at least one of the roles in our midfield. I think he's a good player. I think this is because Juventus have kind of let it be known that he's available for sale. We've already discussed this when I mistakenly thought that all 3 players were being offered to us for Jadon Sancho, and you're like, what, are you serious? Like, would I have him? Yeah, of course I would have him. By the way, I'm standing still and sweating my head off. This is going to be horrendous, isn't it? I like Douglas Luiz as a player. I just don't think Manchester United are going to try and buy him unless there's something that can be done in terms of Jadon Sancho going the other way. Right now, I reckon he's probably on a list. I don't reckon he's high up on a list. I don't think he's anywhere near some sort of a priority. I think Douglas Luiz to United, I cannot give more than a single 1 out of 10 so far. And then Ollie Watkins. Now, in and around the gaff, there's quite a lot of talk about Ollie Watkins. And it does very much feel like United have got a decision to make. If we want Ollie Watkins, the money being talked about is more like 40 to 45, not the 50 to 60 million, which I agree with the people that are saying that's too much for someone in his circumstances. I agree with that. If it's 40 to 45, I'm pulling the trigger on that right now. And I think the fact he's Premier League proven, the fact that he's exactly what we're looking for. The fact that he's such a good character with so much experience, I'm really, really keen for us to go and get him. Will we get him? I think it's genuinely going to be a decision. Maybe Sesko is a first choice for us, and maybe that's what the hold-up is, that you're looking at Sesko and saying, well, if he gives us the nod, we'll go with him. If he goes Newcastle, then we'll go for Ollie Watkins. That might be why we haven't seen the movement on either of them. Maybe Benjamin Sesko's decision is what's holding all of this sort of train up. I think Ollie Watkins is likely if we want to make it happen. And I think he's still more likely than Sesko. Right then, so Ollie Watkins, Manchester United. I still think he's a little bit ahead of Sesko. I've got to give it a 6 out of 10. Right, that's the ins. Here's these fucking dicks that we've got to get rid of. And I'll be honest with you, there's not been anywhere near enough news with all of these stay-at-home sausages that we've left and trying to get rid of. Garnacho's the first one. MEN on Friday are saying that United are exploring possible swap deals. They're still bringing up Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea, which I thought had been well put to bed by now. They're still bringing up a possible swap deal with Ollie Watkins at Aston Villa. And even though I think that that's probably quite plausible because it suits both of us not having to spend and getting rid of a player and him going to a Premier League club, which he supposedly wants, because that's why he's also linked with Chelsea. I just don't... Swap deals don't really happen that often, do they? So I'm not really sure on that one. There's a link with Bayern Munich, but fucking is there? And then it just doesn't seem like there's been much movement on it. And I don't know the reason for it. I don't think Garnacho's on incredibly fat wages. It's just a case of, can we find somewhere that's willing to pay money for him? Now, when you look at the stats of Garnacho, like, he is one of the most exciting prospects in European football. As long as you don't watch him and see that he's got the decision-making of a fucking paper bag in the wind, then you probably think that he's a pretty good player. So we need to make sure that someone's just looking at data and going, wow, yeah, and doesn't he have a lot of shots? Yeah, loads, gets on the ball all the time, take him, please. So, Garnacho to fucking leave, I guess, rather than, I can't give you a rating to an exact club because everyone's just playing guessing games. Garnacho to leave, I mean, it should be 10 out of 10, shouldn't it? We've been like, oi, you're not coming on the tour, we want you gone, do one. But I don't think we... Was that a rattlesnake?
Maybe. Don't know if the mic would have picked up.
You lot can't hear how loud the bugs are here. I don't know if it's a bug. That honestly, it sounded like a rattlesnake.
Could have been a skater or something.
It could have been anything. Wow. I hope that's not trail that we're running on up there. That's going to... Suck it out. Whoa. Oh, right, the venom. Cool. Anyway, Garnacho... Yeah. I feel like a 7 out of 10, but I have no idea where. And we're going to have to get busy moving him on, aren't we? Thursday, Sportsmole did an article saying United are trying to get rid of Tyrell Malacia. Wow. That's news, isn't it? Mate, we didn't bring him on the tour. We were trying to hawk him to Celtic last week. Of course we're trying to get rid of him. Like, these four... Now, I don't think United have done ourselves favours with this. We've kind of let it be known. It was 5 originally, wasn't it? And it might even be 6 because actually there is a bit of a link to Rasmus Hojlund as part of the Benjamin Sesko thing. But again, Rasmus Hojlund himself has come out and said, I want to stay and fight for my place, which, to be honest, I don't know how to take that because, of course, he did, but also at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, what else was he going to say? He was always going to say that he wants to stay and fight for his place, and he was never going to be like, oh, get me to fuck. He's never going to say that, is he? So, Tyrell Malacia, Jadon Sancho, Garnacho. Who's the other one? Well, Rashford's already gone. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Just like all of these players, United have done themselves no favours in terms of like letting it be known, hey, dicks. But at the same time, you do have to move them on. Because the season starts, like, it's not fair. People are like, just stick them in the under-21s. It's not fair on the 21s. You want the under-21s to have a good environment where they're learning from the first team, not having their sessions disrupted by some guy that doesn't want to be there. That's not on. Like, if you've decided these aren't good for the club and we need to move them on, then you need to move them on. Like, I understand the financial constraints that we're in, but we must be very close to cancelling contracts right now, mustn't we? We must be very close to cancelling contracts and just saying, nah, do you know what? It ain't you, it's me. Sin a bit. We need to do it. Because we need this fresh start. We need to be able to kick into the new season with the good attitude that everyone's got and this good vibe that everybody's got. All the players on tour are like, hey, this is different. The vibes are immaculate. Good. But yeah, there you go. Malacia. Fuck, I don't know. It's 7, I guess, because we're clearly trying to... Honestly, we are about 20 minutes away from me telling you Stretford Paddock are linked with someone on there. And that's at United. And it's one of them dicks. And I don't want them. Right, we're off to go and get even sweatier. Look, it's dripping down my face right now, and I'm just standing here talking about transfers, let alone trying to run up the bastard mountain. It's over that way, I think. Anyway, 3 miles up, 3 miles down. Orders changed! Easy's running Currahee!